This is the S&P 500 one-day reading for September 9th, 2022. It's currently August 12th, 2022, 8:58 p.m. Guys, September 9th, Mercury station retrograde. So now we've completed the first stage of the three stages of Mercury retrograde. The pre-shadow is now complete. And why is that significant? Go check out the posts that I talk about the Mercury retrograde strategy and opportunity during Mercury retrograde. You'll see what I'm talking about, but it shows you the pre-shadow shows you what the market's going to do at another specific time. You get like a sneak preview of it. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't, guys. All right, and generally when you have a station during a trading day, depends on what time of day the station actually is. But generally during a station you have it's like a pivot point. You'll kind of like stall out. You'll either have a lot of like wild behavior and you'll like end up going nowhere, or you won't have a lot of behavior and you'll end up going nowhere. But it depends on where the station is. It happens overnight. That's not necessarily the case. Retrograde station, it's in the evening. So interesting. So that's why we have a move higher at the it looks like, especially at the end of the day. So the overall theme and behavior for the ninth is an important support levels highlighted. It's tempting to establish important support. I'm advised to trade, but to be careful. For there's something tricky going on, either multiple false tops or bottoms, or like some like sort of like tricky fake out of some sort. The behavior around the high. We have a decline through a support level to meet another support level out of the high. And then when we meet that other support level, we move sideways along support level. There's a notable decline. It's the halting of a rally, moving into the low. So there's a halting of a rally marked by a notable decline through a key support level. And that'll stand out on a one-day chart, and that'll take us into the low. So we have we successfully turned resistance into new support in the pre-market. Looks like we have a day's high here in the pre-market. There's an important resistance level and price level highlighted right around the open, and a trade opportunity to open up a short position there right around the open. There is appears to be quite a bit of volatility between 10 and 11, and at that moment I'm advised between 10 and 11 to open up a long position so that I can play both sides of the market here. So a trade right around 11 o'clock, a trade around between 9:30 and 10, and another one right around 11 o'clock. A bearish trade between 9:30 and 10, a bullish trade around 11 o'clock, right? And so then in the midst of some volatility, there's a fast sudden move higher marking the end of that period of volatility. And that could take place towards the end of the 11 to 12 o'clock hour, or the big move ending it could be from 12 to 1, one of those two scenarios. But there's what appears to be the beginning of a rally here midday. However, there is a notable decline from that rally, and we meet a support level that we attempt to establish support on, and from which between 2 and 3, we move from the bottom of a range to the top of a range, like all the way from the bottom of a range to the top of a range, and it starts out of a decline there, and that strength card also stands out. It's a congruency for the ninth, which is the strength card on the overview. Guys, if you don't have the 1 month overview, sign up for the free newsletter. You find the free newsletter by going to our website, tarotfortraders.com. It's FOR, tarotfortraders.com. Sign up for the free newsletter, and then you get the 1 month overview of the S&P 500 a week ahead of each month. We're averaging about a 98% average accuracy on those, like predicting highs and lows. Been a little bit off the last couple of months, but if you look back over like a year's worth of them, we're in the high 90s on average. Okay, and then there's a move higher in that last hour. From that move higher to the top of the range, in the last hour there's a move higher through a resistance level We stay above it briefly, and then we break back down through that same price level shortly thereafter, and it looks like there's a decline into a lower low the following day, but a decline in the post market into a lower low that takes place the following day, and an important agreement or merger of some kind, an important agreement between two leaders or a merger of some kind is highlighted around the close as well. That's the 9th of September 2022, guys. I officially do not trade when we go from Mercury retrograde station to Mercury station direct. So when we're in the body, the second phase of retrograde, I do not trade. All bets are off. I almost always lose my money during that period, so I don't trade through those. It's highly advised not to. Mercury retrograde affects electronics, travel, and communication. So I won't be trading from the 9th until it looks like October 6th. October 2nd. I won't be trading, but on October 2nd I start trading again, guys. Check out the Mercury retrograde strategy posts. You'll see there's a cool opportunity entwined in Mercury retrograde. That's the S&P 500 for the 9th of September, guys. When you make money from that reading, pay a little bit of it forward, pay a little bit of it backwards, and then with the rest of it, whatever you do with it, do it out of love. And the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold in all directions, my friends. I'll see you on the next one.